How many people here have been in a toxic relationship? Raise your hand, please. Okay, a lot of you guys. Okay. So that means you guys are a part of the 35% of the people who experience the negative effects of those relationships. Studies show that people who are or were in toxic relationships tend to feel drained, anxious, gaslit, or just melancholic all the time. Life tends to feel a little bit less colorful, more gray when toxic presences are in your life. Now, before we start, I will define toxic relationships quickly since it's a word I'm going to be saying a lot. So, a toxic relationship is any relationship that damages your mental health, your confidence, and your overall well being. And let me tell you, recognizing these relationships is the first step to reclaiming the peace and happiness in your life. I'm about to take you through 4 steps to to rid your life of toxic relationships. Whether it's a friend, a classmate, or someone you've known for years, sometimes people show behaviors that we just cannot allow to stay in our lives. So let's go through these steps together. Okay. Step 1 of this process is define the toxic. Identify the people in your life who exhibit these traits. It's the first and most important step to taking out the toxicity. If you want to find the toxic people in your life, they likely display what I like to call chia behavior. You're probably thinking, what the heck is chia? So let me break it down for you. Chia stands for controlling, hateration, insensitive, and attention seeking. So these are the core behaviors of someone who might be toxic to you. Personally, I came up with these actually based on a toxic person that I had in my life who was really damaging to me. So there was this girl in my life, we'll call her Sally, and Sally and I were friends for about 2 years. And at first, she seemed super nice, smart, just a little bit opinionated, but nothing too crazy, right? But as time passed on, I started to notice things about Sally. Sally had a habit of putting down her own friends and criticizing them behind their backs. And she would just get upset, not only me, but everyone else if they didn't agree with her or follow her plans. And even worse, she would tease me about harmless things like what I wore and lie to just get sympathy from others just to hate on them in private. I didn't realize it at first, but this constant need for control and attention, the subtle digs at my confidence, all of it was slowly making me feel like I wasn't enough. Sally displayed almost all of the Chia behaviors. That's when I knew I had to make a change. Okay, now let's move on to step 2, making your game plan. Once you've identified the toxic person, it's time for step 2. Now, this doesn't mean you need to jump into confrontation or burn bridges immediately. The goal is to figure out how you can distance yourself from toxicity while protecting your mental health. You need strategies that work for you. Maybe it's having an open, honest conversation with people who care about you and support you about how this toxic person's behavior affects you. Maybe it's slowly creating some space between you and them. Maybe you spend more time focusing on yourself, building relationships, going to the gym, drowning yourself in K-dramas, anything that works well for you, to set limits on how people treat you, no matter how close they are to you. And remember, it's not about changing the person, it's about removing the toxicity from your life in a way that allows you to heal and grow. Okay, so step 3, personally in my experience, this is the hardest part of the process for me, prepare for pushback. So here's the hard truth. When you start setting boundaries, people might push back. So toxic people are often used to getting in their way, especially when they've had control over your emotions for a while. So they might get defensive, accuse you of overreacting, and try to manipulate you into feeling guilty. So for me, when I cut Sally out, she really did not like that. So for 2 months after I started distancing myself from her, and try to focus on other things, she was clinging to me and following me around like a little duckling. And yes, it was good that Sally was finally trying to put effort into the relationship I had worked so hard to try to build with her. But at that point in time, it was too late for me. I had finally had a taste of a more peaceful but still hard life, and I wasn't going to let her take that away from me ever again. And finally, step 4, heal and move forward. Cutting off toxic relationships isn't easy, but once you've done it, you're left with more room to focus on yourself, on healthy, supportive relationships. Healing takes time, and it's okay to feel sad or uncertain, but trust me, when the poison is gone, you'll feel lighter happier, and more in control of your life. And when I left these toxic people, I immediately felt lighter, happier, and more at peace. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who respect your boundaries, who want to see you thrive in life. Because at the end of the day, you, everyone in this room, the world, deserves relationships that nourish you, not drain you. So those are your 4 steps. Find your toxic, make your game plan, prepare for pushback, and heal. Toxic relationships may be part of life, but you don't have to live with them. You have the power to protect your peace, and it starts with recognizing who's around you and how they affect you. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you take these steps to heart and make space for the love and respect you deserve. Stay strong, remember you're enough just as you are, and also make sure to cheer for all these amazing women who are going to give the rest of their speeches today. Thank you.